Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, I'm playing the Tier 5 Pan-American cruiser La Argentina, which is a beautiful name for a ship. The ship itself, well, it is a Tier 5 cruiser, so, I wouldn't set your expectations too high. But when I compare it to things like the Omaha or the Königsberg, I think this thing falls flat. And that's true of the Tier 6 as well, which I'll have another video about. The guns on these ships are just so anemic. At the end of this game, I did a I did a quick calculation, and the average was less than 500 damage per shell, and that's true of the Tier 6 as well. And the Tier 7 doesn't seem to be a lot better. I mean, it may be a little, but so what about this ship? And let me give you the particulars. So we look at we look at the bottom and you say, wow, okay, this thing's got a heel. It's a tier 5 cruiser with a heel and hydro. And yeah, that is great, but it's only going to help you so much. Now, the gimmick of these ships, of course, is that you've got, in the Tier 6 at least, you've got the ability to you activate a kind of an arcadey type of gimmick where if you land a certain number of shells in a certain period of time, it speeds up the reload of all your consumables. Is that neat? Yeah. And when you get a chance to activate it and use it, is it good? Yeah. How often are you really going to get to use it? Probably not all that often. Why? Well, because you don't have guns that are going to be able to put things down quickly. And in order to put enough shells on something over a period of time that you're going to activate that thing, you're going to have to put yourself in harm's way, and these ships are paper thin. Now you'll see in this game, I play really conservatively, and that's because this was, I don't know, 4 or 5 games into this thing. and if you think Omaha is easy to blap, or Königsberg, I invite you to try these. Because these are, at least in my opinion, maybe not quite as maneuverable. They just feel, at least to me, a little sluggish. And at Königsberg, I love to play. Omaha, I love to play. I don't play them a lot, but they're fun. And you're going to get to see, kind of what these guns are like. So you got a lot of guns, you get a lot of shells out. They take forever to get there. And that's actually a good volley. Under 1,300 damage with all those shells. Now, why am I able to do so much damage? Well, because I got a broadside cruiser. Right? But even with that, it's 8 shells, less than 4,500 damage. And it just never really gets any better. That's actually more representative, roughly 300 damage. Now our fare gets pushed himself up there and he's about to get blapped. He's going to run into a tin can here in a second and go poof and be gone. Now Bayern is, as far as CVs at the tier go, pretty darn tough. And so we've got that going for us. If Sebastian Blacksuiter has some idea how to play it, we'll see. So I helped a little here, not a lot. I'm hoping that our Devonshire takes out the enemy Fubuki. And so we're down 2 destroyers, bad guys are down 3. I'm hoping that our sub is going to come to the surface and try and cap, but it doesn't look like he has any intention of doing that. He's just sitting at 30 meters of depth, hoping to get torpedoes on something, I guess. Now you've probably played this map a lot, like most people have. And you can use this island. Now, where you can run into trouble is if, like, the Iron Duke that's on the one line, if he'd come up the one line and come around that corner, I'd be in big trouble. Devonshire now takes out the Katovsky, so that's 2 kills for him. And I've landed 21 shells for less than 9,000 damage. Got a broadside Argentina there. And now he's going to turn in, and now I'm detected, which tells me that our sub sitting that low in the water did not detect whatever is in there capping. And I'm guessing Jaws HP is brand new player. Yay! Time for me to beat feet. I'm targeted by 2, and these things are made of paper. I do not want to start eating shells. I'd throw that out there just on the off chance I could catch subsurfaced. And he's turning out, which means probably not going to land too much here, but we'll see. 1 non-pen on a light cruiser. So that's 32 shells for 13,000 damage, and it really never gets any better. I do manage to finish a few ships off in this game, but no, give me, I mean, there's a long list of tier 5 ships I would want to play before I would play this. And I'm not saying that, to disrespect the ship line or the nations they represent or anything like that. They're just not fun to play. I don't really like the tier 6 or 7 with the gimmick either, because the chances of being able to put that gimmick to use are slim to none. Okay. Big double citadel at relatively close range. And so now 37 shells on target for 17,753 damage. And that was the exciting moment of the game. We lose our New York. We're now down 4 ships. Bad guys are down 5. So what am I saying? Well, I think the expression that I used in the tier 6 version of this highlight of this line was that these are the flyover state line, meaning that people are going to want to just cross through them as quickly as possible. Now the Omaha, it can start fires, right? Königsberg can start fires, and the AP on the Königsberg, absolutely devastating. It's got some punch. the AP, which is all you've got in these ships, is, well, I think anemic is a really good word for it. 56 shells on target, 24,203 damage. I don't care who you are, that's pretty awful. Now, granted, I haven't taken any damage here, and I honestly don't remember in this game whether or not I ever do get pasted. But I had plenty of games where, a battleship would land 1 shell and I'd lose half my HP. And that is a pretty consistent experience when playing these. Okay, so that's 6 shells and I did, what, 900 damage? Oh, yeah. So, sub's out there somewhere. I think a cool use for these ships might have been to make their anti-sub capabilities a little bit better, rather than this gimmicky thing that they gave them. How cool would it have been if you had more range on your anti-sub airstrikes and maybe a bigger square and quicker reload? That would have been some cool functionality, I think. If we're going to have subs in the game, having a line that's designed to counter them would be cool. It might be a little bit easier to tolerate not having guns that can do any damage. And instead, they use kind of this gimmicky thing, and I wanted to like these ships. I really did. And I'm going to be able to drop a few more and do a little bit more damage to this guy. And I'm just going to sit right here and hope he'll just keep doing what he's doing, which basically amounts to nothing. He's basically doing the same thing our sub did, just cruising around under the water, maybe looking at the sights, and not really contributing much. And that's probably going to do it for him, so I'm going to focus on this Iron Duke now. Yeah, that's got to be it for him, right? Yeah. Oh. I guess I should have seen the little island indicator there. Might the torps have enough range? Probably not, but maybe, so I'm going to throw them out there. I'm going to focus on the cruiser rather than the battleship. I'm immediately targeted. And yeah, I finished off the Argentina, but what did I do? 900 damage. So somebody else got there first, really. So, you know, 3 kills. Yeah, okay, 3 kills, but you know, how much damage, really? Next to nothing. That's big damage for this thing. And this game is in the bag. I mean, the bad guys are down to 2 ships. So 4 kills, but really doesn't amount to anything. And, you know, this is not a really long video, and in truth, I kind of hope you fast forwarded through a lot of this. But I wanted to highlight the ships because they're new to me and probably new to you. And, you know, maybe the play style is fun at higher tiers, but I can say in the tiers that I've played so far, they're just not. I'd love to be able to say otherwise, but there are light cruiser lines at this tier and tier 6 and tier 7 that I think are a lot more fun to play. And this thing's going to be over here pretty quickly, so I will say thank you now for checking this out. If you feel differently or feel the same, I'd still love to see your comments below. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.